Hey guys. Wait a minute. Oh, I should have done this like 5 minutes earlier, but I didn't. See. 222. I see somebody there. A couple people. Take this. Okay, hi guys. Happy July. Can somebody tell me if my sound is okay, please? Okay, I'm just gonna feed my face while I wait for some people to get on here. Make sure I'm doing this. Whipped cream. Can anybody tell me if my sound is okay, please? Because I can't tell. No, nobody's going to tell me. Okay, I'll just have to wait until more people come on and somebody's brave enough to help me. I see that there's a couple people that could have helped me. Okay. La-di-da, la-di-da. Okay, is it? I think this is not the best time of the day, but I was trying to do it to help, to do a shout out to the people in the Central Time Zone. It's 2:20 here in Western Washington. And I think I'm going to go back to doing it at 4:20 this time in the Pacific Standard Time. It's kind of too early, I think. Not like eating in your face, right? I'm eating local raspberries with kiwi and whipped cream that I made. So I might be talking about food today. Or whatever you want to talk about. Whoever wants to talk about whatever. See if anybody did their homework. I asked. Okay, somebody tell me, please, if my sound is okay, if you can hear me. Hey, Daniel. Can you hear me okay? Is it coming through all right? It's not glitching, I don't think, but I don't know how the sound is. And you were where? I can't remember now where everybody was. Okay, so it was Wisconsin. Okay, you can hear it? Okay, good. I don't know if people are going to come on here at this time because it's earlier than I usually was doing it. So I don't know. We'll give it a few minutes. It's saying there's 5 people so far, but not everybody's chatting yet. Come on, don't be afraid. I won't bite you. I won't yell at you or anything. Yep, I'll just be me. It's a tough act, I guess, to just be cat. A meerkat? I'm just a meerkat. Oh, cats. Many cats, I guess. When my name, I was one like the original cat, and nobody was named Cat back then in the day. Now there's all kinds of cats and stuff. Just like my daughter's name is Delilah, and there was no Delilahs when she was born. Like now they're starting to be more of a popular name. And I knew that's what her name was going to be 5 years before she was even born. Okay, so I'm eating my raspberries and cream with these golden yellow kiwis. They're so good. A bit too much. Okay, so is anybody going to talk? Come on. Don't be shy. Tell me what you want to talk about. I'll talk about anything. I'm just a chatty catty. Okay, tell me what the weather's like where you are. And tell me where you are so I know where you're talking about. Because I'm trying to connect all these dots as far as the weather manipulation is going on. Oh, yum, yum. Oh, chicken thighs. I don't eat chicken anymore. I used to. The only meat I eat really is local beef that I get from a rancher here. Okay, so you were the one that was from South Dakota. Did you see I put that in my video saying like shout out? Because it's for the central time zone. And you're in the central time zone, right? Isn't South Dakota central? And Texas and what was the other one I put up? Shoot, I forget what the other one was now. South Dakota, Texas. Oh, and Wisconsin. Somebody was here from Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, I had buffalo meat. That was really good. I had elk, and I also had yak. Is yak pretty similar to buffalo, right? It was like really sweet and mild. I thought it was going to be like more wild, but it was mild, not wild. Sort of sweet. Yak. Did anybody ever have yak? Yak, yak, yak. Okay, so I can't read this without my glasses. Okay, so there's a couple, I noticed, I'm learning about the time zones by doing this because some states are split up. So part of the state is in one time zone and part of the state is in the other time zone. I'm in the Pacific Standard Time. And I've never been to South Dakota. Is it, I guess 94 is considered pretty hot for there, right? Or does it usually get that hot? It doesn't get that, I mean, it's been that hot here, but it doesn't usually get that hot. Even in August, and it was only June. Oh, the Missouri River divides the time zone. So where does it end? At what? In Missouri, or like? I'm trying to think if Ohio is considered Eastern, or is that considered Central? There's 5 time zones in the United States. Like there's Alaska is its own, and then there's another part of Alaska that's there's some, I forget what the name of it's called, and I think Hawaii's in there too. And then there's Pacific, Central, and Eastern time. Yeah, it was 115 here in Washington the other day. I don't think it got that hot right here, but I knew somebody that was in Washington, was in Vancouver, Washington, where it was 115. And then I'm right below Vancouver, British Columbia. That's where my daughter lives. I'm right below that in Washington, right kind of butt up against Canada. I always seem to be by rivers. Not so much now. I'm by a bay, Birch Bay. But I was born in New York, I was right on the Hudson River. Then I went to Pittsburgh, and then I was on the Ohio River, and Monongahela and the Allegheny River form the Three Rivers. If you know of Three Rivers Stadium from baseball and sports, you know. No, it says it has 5. That's what it says now. I don't know if it was split up into another one or something. I looked it up, and it's called, I think it has Alaska in it, but there's another one that's just strictly Alaska, and then there's one that's Hawaii in Alaska. That's 2, and then there's Pacific, Central, and East Coast, Eastern. So there's 5. I didn't even know that myself. Hi, Blah. You live in Pennsylvania right now? Yeah, I grew up in Pittsburgh. What part of Pennsylvania? Are you like Philly or something? I lived in Pennsylvania for a long time. Let me see, from 10, like 17 years I lived in Pittsburgh. I went to school there. I got my teacher's license there. I graduated from cosmetology school, and I went to school on the South Side. So, well, what city are you in, Bluff? I'm trying to figure out the cities, or this, if anybody's on the 40th parallel, if you know that, because I'm trying to piece this thing together that has to do with the cities along the 40th parallel. Go flip your thighs. Don't let them burn. Modesto, California. Oh, it's in the countryside. That's cool. And I wish I would have lived in the countryside more than the city, because Pittsburgh was probably polluted with all the industry going on there. You know, Steel City. Oh, shit, I just knocked another piece of my scab off. Oh. See, it's getting better. See how it's all coming off the scab? It's not infected. It's really healing pretty good, right? I mean, it's a pretty big ass scrape I got there. But it's healing pretty good. It'll probably be a little bit of a scar for a while, and then it'll probably fade away and not be so bad. Yeah, what kind of gun you got? I used to have guns. I used to have, I never had my own pistol, but I did go shoot pistols, like target practice and stuff. But I had my own. I had a 30-30 Savage and a Remington 30-06 rifle. Hey, TB, how you doing? You're on the 37th parallel. Okay. I have to remember to keep asking people as they come on, who are there? I don't have any guns now. They was actually stolen at a party I had. And my arm's getting better, but my foot swelled up again. So I guess from going up and down the stairs too much. I wanted to bring my laptop outside and do the katstream out there, out in the sun, but it's too heavy for me to lift up. I can't handle any weight on my left hand. Let me open this. Okay, is that a little bit brighter? I opened there's like a curtain thing there, or a blinds that were turned the wrong way. You have a 30-30? Yeah, mine was a pump action. I don't know, a lot of people think that guns are the answer in this, with what's coming up, and guns are useless in this kind of fight. I mean, first of all, it's a spiritual battle. What are you going to do with guns? Guns are for people to shoot each other. You can't shoot at the enemy. It's friggin' AI. What are you going to do? Shoot yourself? You got AI in you? That's the enemy? It's inside of you. You're going to shoot yourself. Oh no, look what this is doing. Damn it. Some kind of shit coming up. Sorry I didn't get to eat my lunch. I'm gonna have to do this like a couple hours later because it's a little probably too early. But I thought it would be good for people like that lived in Europe, like in Germany. There's a few people I have follow me that's from Germany, in Switzerland. I have a friend there, and I have some friends in Africa that want to. I don't know that they can afford to though. They don't. They're so poor there. I had like a whole like little family of friends, like a little tribe there that I'm friends with. They're all young too. They're all under 32 or 3. Hi, Melanie. There's Melanie. She's from Germany. I was just saying, so it would be, let me see if it's 2 here, 230, 240, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it like 10:40 there, Melanie? What time is it? Have you seen what the Africans have been doing to the USA lately, Kat? No, I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? It's 23:40, so that means it's going on midnight there? It's like 11:40. Oh wow, you're not okay. You're 9 hours ahead. I thought it was like 8. So that's why it is so late there, huh? Shoot. So if I come on later, then it's going to be like too late for you, then, huh? I'm trying to find a even time to come on to try to get an average of what kind of business they taking care of. Not against each other, huh? Hi, Brads. I don't know if I know you. I'm just going to eat this before it gets too ucky. So I just went to the post office and it's been like 8 weeks since I put in my passport application. I'm still waiting for it, and if they send it back and I have to start over again, I'm gonna freak because I had 4 different appointments that I went to get my passport handled, and finally got it done, and it's been almost 2 months now because it was like, yeah, it's at least 7 weeks anyway. Yeah, these are goofy glasses. I think I don't like them, but thanks. Oh, okay, that's good to hear. If there anything anybody wanted to talk about, um, whatever, like you want to know about food or whatever, then we could. I was going to let you guys kind of lead the chat and tell me what you want to hear about because I can talk about anything. I'm pretty. I know a lot of different things about a lot of different subjects, and I'm not talking just indoctrination like through schools and stuff like that. I have a lot of experience and stuff. But one thing I do know a lot about is food and kind of a lot of what they're doing right now, the poisoning that's going on in the food system. You really don't want to trust what they're doing. Like I started telling you about the landing on the food coming out of from the chemtrails coming down and in the air, in the water, in the soil, thus in the food supply, in the stuff that grows in it. So unless you have a greenhouse or a way to prevent the fallout from hitting your food, I mean that's the best way to do it if you can grow your own food. I was in a situation where I could grow my own food, but not looking like that. Boo. So the other thing I'm would like to do is get the RV. If I could get a motorhome, that would work. That would be so good. I look forward to the day, even if it's old, and as long as it's not leaking. So um, so I don't have to depend on other places where I can't. I just don't fit in with all these NPCs everywhere I go, just giving me a hard time. It's ucky. Is anyone having these problems with meeting, up against these people that don't, that are not awake yet or maybe never will be? I don't know if what's gonna happen. So it's looking like that this reality split or whatever is going on. It looks, at this point, it's looking like the vaccinated against the non-vaccinated. So that's another divide, just like politics, just like religion, just where they get the people to fight with each other. I mean, that's what they did for the Civil War and all these wars. We never go fight in other people. I don't know. Is anyone here a vet that could talk about it, what goes on behind the scenes when you go off to fight some kind of war. Yeah, the whole world is split. But on the other hand, on the flip side of that, I think it's actually bringing people together. You know, like if it wasn't for this, what's going on, the way it just happens to be, I wouldn't have friends in Switzerland. I wouldn't, like know people from Germany that I'm starting to know more and more people from Germany and in France and different in Australia and all different places around the world that I never would have had contact with had this not happened. So there's a good thing because there's a lot of people that are coming together, not just splitting, but a lot of people are coming together too. I mean, look, just that we're here, like from wherever. I mean, there's even a girl. She comes in and she's not here now. I don't see her, Brianna. She's from India, and I don't. She's the only person I think of. I mean, I know Indian people that I am friends with here, but not like online. Somebody that I just met like her. So, why is war ever necessary? I don't believe that. War is that war is generated, or they manipulate the people into war, or they send people off to war. Maybe, like from what I understand, that that the troops go over there and they don't go to war necessarily. They end up guarding the poppy fields, is what they do. So they use them as like little slaves to do all this BS kind of operations that keep their drugs and whatever other operations they got going on, and they're using soldiers to do it. I don't know. This is my understanding. That's why I want somebody that is an actual soldier to tell me, do they actually go to war and fight and kill people, like in other people that are innocent in other countries, like they did, like wherever. I don't want to name any particular place. Just oh yeah, because of Owen. Well, I did what I had to do there. I felt like pulled there to go do that. Well, what's any different than the Nazis now, what they're doing? This is terrorism. We're under terrorism. They are the terrorists, not us, not little people from here and there, unless they've been mind controlled to work for them. The real terrorists, the people, the ones in control. The ones I call they. But at this point, it just seems like it's gotten out of hand, and AI is taking over. Like it used to be, the priests were in charge. Like they ran the show, the whole world. The like 6 priests in the world, and then they're admitting that they can't. It's like they can't even deal with it anymore. It's AI is taking over. So where does that leave us? That's why I say guns are useless against AI. What can you do with that? And if you knew about what's happening inside our bodies, how they can control us with all this this nanotech inside of us, they could do whatever they want. And it already has taken over. It's like we're in some kind of simulation or something. I don't even know how to explain it. Hi, Andromeda. How you doing? A little bit, yeah. But this is pretty powerful. Like if you have to pulse it out of you, I don't know that. How do you do it? Or Are you even feeling like you have to do it yet? A lot of people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh boy, don't get me started on that. The altar boys and stuff. I think that's what started Owen's some stuff. Now I'm just saying this from my gut feeling. I don't know this for sure. But I think, yeah, the breath work is good. You can do breathing exercises, I think, to counter a lot of this stuff. But that's what we're told, Melanie. You don't know that is they want you to believe that kind of stuff. It's all pretty much the same people at the top that are running the whole show. And people think it's like some of these people, like Trump, has no power. None of these leaders or presidents or prime ministers or whatever have any power. I mean, the priests are way over them. And if the priests are out of power, then it seems like humanity is out of power. And we got to, get it back. We have to, like, collectively come together, I guess, and counter this somehow. Is that what you're having? Yeah, but you're not gazing into the real sun, you know. The sun's not what you think it is. It's like, I honor the more spiritual sun than this whatever sun that they're presenting to us. I can see it's not real. Yes, it is important to watch your words, how you use your words. Words have power. Words can be swords with an S in front of it. Your own currency has your own electricity, you mean your own live energy current. How old are you, Andromeda? You sound pretty wise. I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but it helps me to understand where people are coming from, just knowing like when they were born or, how old they are. No, I don't watch those Final Days channels. No. I don't think that's I don't is it like a Christian thing? It sounds very Christian to me, and I don't do any religions at all. Okay. Happy birthday. Did you have a good birthday? Yeah, well, don't you think this is regime what we have right now is pretty oppressive? That they're making people put masks on and stand 6 feet apart and each other for a long time. And ran into this was on the street, and they ran into each other and hugging, and then they jumped back and said, "Oh no, we're not supposed to be hugging each other." Look at that mind control. Tell me that isn't oppression. That you can't greet your friend and hug them and share a hug without feeling like you can't do that because they said so. I don't listen to anybody but my own self. I live intuitively. Yeah, I'm sure they get, if there's somebody watching, they probably get pissed off if they see you hugging. Why is it any different, Melanie? You only know, well, what do you know of it besides what you learned in a book or in school? Do you know it personally? Have you had your family members tell you? Because look at the stories about the Jews and this and that, all these different stories everywhere around the world. Look how oppressed the Africans are still to this day. Yeah, when two hearts are that's what a hug is. When you hug somebody, your energy fields are like enmeshing, like. People need to do it all the more just to show them that we're not buying the nonsense, that we're going to do it anyway. I guess I'm an instigator, huh? I want to get people to stand up for their rights and, be the children of God that we all are. Do we have enemies really? Like, do you hate the people of wherever just because you don't know them? And then if you did get to know them, you probably wouldn't hate them anyway. It's the people that would oppress us or but I don't know that, because when this stuff started coming into me like a while back, it just didn't feel human to me. It didn't feel like, that's why and then more and more I'm talking to people and seeing even just anywhere, like people are starting to talk about the AI more, that we've been taken over and they're trying to turn us into machines and all that stuff. Well, that's a good attitude to have, yeah, like to love your enemies. Because if you can love your enemy, it makes it a lot easier to love anybody, your friend or people you don't know or whatever. Yeah, let your heart be your guide. Like when you go within, just always try to connect with that heart space and project that out onto people. I don't know. It seems like right now they're trying to get, with all this garbage they show on the media, like news and stuff like that, and all these horrendous stories and stuff. These are all like psyops to tug at your heartstring to get you to be angry that happened. Just like that whole George Floyd thing. What do you think that was? If you saw the different camera angles on that thing, what they show you from the mainstream media, look how perfect they get a shot. Nobody's in the way. They show you him on the ground and the whole "I can't breathe" and the guy splitting his throat. If you saw it from the other angle, there were 3 cops on the other side. I think that, they're all staged events. And then you see all these people like come on, somebody in their family was killed or something, and then they come on and they cry. Who would do that? If your mother or brother or somebody was killed in your family, are you going to be there the next day, like talking to reporters and being on camera? And then they have their, no tears, usually no tears. And it's like, yeah, he was so special. We're gonna miss our David or whatever his name was. It's like, and then every once in a while, if you listen real close, they say is instead of was, and then you realize he ain't dead. The person's not really dead. It's just an act. They are actors, crisis actors. If you can't see that by now, it's happening so much and it's laughable now. These stories. And then when people are, like, the truthers are reporting on it and stuff like that, the so-called truthers are reporting on it, and then it's like, this ain't real, man. I can't believe that they're actually talking about it like as if it's real. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Yeah, I think so. A lot of people might go through their whole life and never get to feel love, know what it feels like. Well, it's not just about money, it's more like about control. They got as much money as they would ever they need. They don't need money. They have all the money. Are your parents still alive? No? Yeah, we need to learn how to work with the frequencies. The frequency, a lot of the frequencies are, good, love, 528 and 432 and all those kind of things. But at the same time, there's all these frequencies hitting us that are not good, and or they're discordant, and they just mess with our whole system. So we have to figure out how to neutralize those frequencies. That's what I'm going through. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. Well, both of mine are, all my family is almost gone. And even, I'm outliving my siblings, and I'm the oldest of seven. And, um, olders, and I had an older brother. So I've outlived five of them already. And there's the youngest two are still left. And I'm like 15 years older than my youngest sister. And my brother is like 7 years younger than me. And all the other ones have died. And the only other one, well, even my cousin is not even my age, but she got the jab, and now she is having heart problems, and she's going to report back to me. She has to go to the cardiologist and everything. So I don't know if she's going to. When she told me she got that, like, well, I couldn't believe. I mean, what do you tell people that are going to get it? Your own family. So I might outlive her too. Yeah, money was a big. I think the dark forces, whoever they are, that's their biggest accomplishment. They are so proud of the money that they created in the system, and how it got people to hook into it and make it real and come alive and everything, and took us away from the real meaning of life, and just people focus on money. And um, just, no, that's good that your mom was awake. I have no one in my family that is awake and knows what's going on. And my mom, my mom died a really long time ago, and I don't know my father. I don't think he's still alive, but he'd be like 80, 90. He'd be like 91 if he's still alive. Yeah, if you know that, that's good to tell people that, because, but then do they blame the death in the hospital on COVID? They might have went in for heart problems, and then they say they got COVID, and then they die, and then they put that on their death certificate. Yeah, the goddess is coming back, I guess. It seems like I mean, how could there be a god in the creation without a female counterpart like a goddess to bring forth mankind or whatever? So you were able to talk to your mother that way? Yeah, I pushed that word, the COVIDiots, when this first started. I was probably the one pushing that word. And then I made up a couple other words. Flock down, put an F in front of lockdown. flock down, because it's all the sheep being locked down and going for it. And then there's flock step. I'm like a wordsmith. I make up words. I'm a poetess too, so. Well, I tried to teach my daughter truth, but then she got indoctrinated in school somewhere, I think, when she started high school. Or so my daughter's kind of halfway in between. She's not totally mind controlled, but she's not where I am. She doesn't understand what's going on. But she's also like caught between me and her friends. You know, like she don't want to reject either one of us, so she's kind of on the fence, kind of, because I've been teaching her about the shots from when she was born, from a child. I never got her vaccinated, though I don't know if she got vaccinated anywhere else along the line since then. But and I taught her about fluoride and all these things, and now she doesn't even care. She doesn't care to investigate anything, and I'm like a super detective, and I want to know everything. But a lot of things started coming to me the more I fasted and detoxed. The more I decalcified my pineal gland, and then your third eye starts opening up, and you start seeing things for what they are. My daughter turned 30 on the summer solstice. June 21st was her birthday. And her middle name is Summer. So her whole name's Delilah Summer Rain, and she's a photographer in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Well, I think there's the goddess component of God. Like, it's probably all one thing. Like, maybe it's just. Yeah, that would be great if she could, like, finally accept the truth of things or see things differently, and then, well, be able to teach her friends and stuff. She's kind of a more like go along to get along type person, which I'm not. So that's where the dichotomy. She just is. She don't want to rock the boat. She don't want to. She avoids confrontation and stuff, which a lot of people do, I guess. She does like nature photography. I mean, she's not actually doing that per se, but she does weddings, and she does boudoir. And when she does her wedding, she would search out places to go near where the wedding was, like the beach or the woods and stuff like that. And she would do all these creative things there, like she used smoke bombs and just to create effects, because she's an artist too. I mean, she's generally an artist, and that was what she went to school for, was photography. She went in Quebec, Montreal, I guess, I think it was. And she had so it helped her probably to have her French immersion schooling from kindergarten to 6th grade. She was in French immersion, where they only spoke and learned everything in French. Yeah, I wish she would do more, just like photograph flowers or trees, or like scenes from nature and stuff like that. But she incorporates it in her work, but she doesn't do that specifically. And I also, for her birthday, I wanted to do a painting, and I couldn't, because I fell, and I couldn't even drive my car. My hand is still hurting. But it's getting better, but if I keep using it, it starts to hurt again. And my foot, like I think from going up and down the stairs, it's started swelling up again. So my foot and hand started hurting again because I started using them and I didn't rest them long enough, I guess. So does anyone else here claim to live intuitively, like without really planning things ahead of time? Not be so concerned about security and just like facing your fears and doing it anyway. Just go out and do whatever makes you happy. Don't be afraid of getting in trouble or it's starting to glitch again. Okay, stopped. Oh, there it goes. See it? Is it happening on your side? My screen is starting to glitch. Yeah, that's getting better. This is nothing compared to the other injuries I got. I got a big bruise on my hip. Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't break any bones. I thought I broke my hand, but I think it's okay. But because I wasn't going to go to the hospital. So man, I'm screwed if I get really hurt really bad. I mean, the closest I would get would maybe be like an emergency urgent care type place, but I won't go into a hospital. I'll die on my own before I go into a hospital and let them kill me. I can take a lot of pain. I can take a whole lot of pain, probably more than most guys, I bet. Okay, so I don't know. It started doing that, but it seemed like it stopped. So it seemed like it's okay. Yeah, I ordered a. This is such a weird experience that I had, guys. I don't know how to even handle it. Um, there's somebody that I know in Canada, like just on the other side of the Canadian border in like in Surrey, outside of Vancouver, that was supposed to send me. I paid him for a negative ionizer, and I gave him like quite a bit of money too. It wasn't like I needed this thing, and he never sent it to me, and he started attacking me and everything because it seemed like I was pushing his buttons, which happens a lot of times with people, because I talk the truth and honesty, and they get triggered by honesty. And now he has my money, and he's not sending me the negative ionizer. But he did send me death threats. He literally threatened to kill me. He's just going off the deep end. He seems like he's under mind control or something. And I sent an email. He sent an email to me with this in caps. That's why I'm telling you about the caps, because he sent this letter in all caps, and it was a hate letter. It was totally his anger. He even said, all my years of pent up anger and hatred is going to go at you. Like, it's like, I didn't do anything to deserve this. So I sent this to my other friend in Switzerland, and because he knows him, he doesn't know him in person, but he knows of him. And he just said, I am speechless. That's all he could say, is I'm speechless. He could not believe how he threatened me. And this is a guy that's supposed to be a teacher. That'll be like me just picking somebody out here and just say, and then start sending death threats. And that's when I fell. That right after that night, I read that email, and I fell within hours after reading that email. And I don't know if that has something to do with it, like some kind of curse or something that caused me to fall. I really don't know. It was a weird fall. The whole thing was totally weird. and this guy's accusing me of being CIA agent, and like I'm in cahoots with his wife, and Courtney Love. This is Courtney Love's stepfather that we're talking about, and Courtney Love isn't her real name. This is her stepfather I'm talking with that's threatened to kill me. So I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. Like, I think I should expose him like I'm doing to Owen and let people know, because I don't know if he's taking other people's money too. He took my money. This person I sent money for products. I was supposed to get a negative ionizer. So does anyone know of a good one where I can get that doesn't cost a fortune? Do you know how much the negative ionizers? Who was talking about Andromeda? And you were talking about the hairdryer to put the negative ions out. So it was a little ionizer, portable ionizer that I was buying from him that I still have not gotten yet. So I don't think he even sent it out. And I'm going to have to send him an email. I'll probably get all mad again and start sending death threats again. But what do I do if he has my money? Should I just let it go and, suffer the loss? I don't have that much money. You know that, guys. Wow, is that all? He told me it was going to be between $50 and $100. No, but I'll probably get pretty tired of your crap pretty quick. So you would let somebody just rip you off and not say anything? You wouldn't complain about it? Okay, why don't you send me $300 or something for something? I'll sell you a painting, which I used to get 500 for, and then I won't send it to you. How would you feel? Where did you get it, Andromeda? Or are you just talking about a hairdryer? I don't know about negative ions coming. They seem like positive ions to me. How do you get that it's negative? Okay, we're going to probably have to get rid of this person if it's going to keep it up. Is that what it claims on the package or what? I don't buy anything from Walmart. Anything. The last thing I got from there fell apart. I'm not ever buying from there. And then you try to get anything. No, I just don't want to. Thank you, Melanie. Okay, so I want a specific ionizer for what I'm going through. So you're saying it's negative ions on cool and it's positive ions when it's heat? It doesn't really feel that way to me, so I don't really know. I used to have an ionizer that was like a stand, like a tall stand. But this is just like a little portable one, so I'm sure they're less than $50. I have a hairdryer that does have the cool button on it, but I just don't feel like it's negative ions. Does anyone else know about them? Is there any I don't know what Owen's doing now. I haven't really been following him. Sometimes if somebody like if Johnny Arcade or even Alan Powell or whoever puts up anything, I'd probably watch that and see what they're calling him out on. So do you think that works the same way as the tall tower type that I don't know. But anything that make me feel better, this is awful. This is terrorism, how they can do this to people. I mean, there's nobody in this, there's been nobody in the chat yet that's over 65. I think the oldest was 63. So if you're not a senior and they're not, and like me, I'm talking and shooting my mouth off and everything. So who did you meet at the Flat Earth conference? Owen? I don't know what he believes about it. He I think I know he knows it's not a spinning ball, but I don't claim either side. I mean, if anything, I'd gravitate more towards stationary, unmoving, but I consider it a realm. And I think that's another divisive thing to split people. The spinning ball people, the globers against the flat earth so they can fight. I just say it's stationary, not moving, and it's a realm that we're in or seeing. So Owen was at a conference in Dallas, and you saw him there. Did you actually talk to him? Oh, you had a confrontation with him? Yeah, I think what I started noticing about what Owen was doing, he was claiming no religion, but he was going after certain religions. Remember at first he was talking about the Jews, and then it was, oh, the Jews are okay. It's not them. And then he moved on and he said he wasn't Christian, then all of a sudden he was Christian. Like it seems like he gets money from certain groups, and then he just discounts them and moves on to another one, and he sort of makes friends with another group and then collects money from them, and then when he exhausts that, then he goes on to another group. I don't know, this is my observation now. I don't know if I'm seeing it wrong or what, but that's what it looks like to me. Blowing Menagen? Menagen? You mean, I call him a weenie because he's always talking about weenies. He's a big ween. He's the jolly ween giant. He calls himself a giant. I think that's why he tells people he's 6'8", but I think he's more like 6'5". Oh, this was like a while back then. Okay, so if it was a couple of years ago, I really don't know. I didn't really follow him that long. I just started in, I don't know, it was probably in late 2020 or summer or fall. So I don't really know. But you have footage of you having a confrontation with him? And what happened as a result of it? I wish mine could have been videotaped to prove he's such a liar that he turned it all around, made it look like I was the deranged one when it was him. He was like flipping out, freaking out at me. Like he was scared of me, literally. Scaredy bear, that's what I call him, scaredy bear. Wow, you have to put it up or send it to me, the video. I'd watch it. Yeah, he seemed like he crossed some kind of a he shifted into another, like, I don't know if a demon took over or whatever. And then he started, I mean, he seemed like he was, actually, it seemed like he was doing a fairly good job of educating people in certain ways. Because he has leadership abilities, but then it turned into some kind of cult or something. And then all those leadership abilities just went down the toilet because all he started talking about was squirting and jizzing and uh, penises and anuses and the gay this and gay that. Everybody's gay. And then I started thinking, man, he's doing a lot of projecting. Sounds like he's gay. So that's when I started calling him Bi Bear. Drop the G. I don't know. Oh, so anyway, that person I said, it was actually Alan Powell, I think, was the one who had it up on his channel. And a guy had been employed at the CPS, which he quit. But he was talking about how they go about making their investigations, and before they don't just go take children away. It has to go through. They have to research it. They have to talk to neighbors if they can. They can talk to the children, but I don't know if Owen ever let them talk to the children. And then the children can hardly talk anyway. I mean, Charlie can't talk at all unless they can point or something, say or and sadly, I mean, the kids are like somewhat retarded. I mean, the 7 or 8-year-old has got like a speech defect, but not as bad as Charlie. Charlie can't talk at all unless he just started talking. I mean, he probably can talk, but that is some kind of coping mechanism or something that's going on there, unfortunately, but that's what it seems like. Yeah, it seems like he is. Like, that's why I was starting to talk about, like, him being an altar boy in the Catholic Church, and what the priests do with those altar boys, we don't really even want to think about it. But that could have been, I don't know if he had any kind of sexual abuse by his father. If his father was gay, his dad probably, if his dad was as messed up as he says he is, Owen probably experienced some kind of abuse from his father, sexual. And then went on to get it in the church. Now, I don't know these things for sure, but this is just what I pick up that might be the case. That, and I feel bad for him. I mean, if that's the case and he's just acting it out and pointing at everybody else and blaming them, and you're banned for life, and that's like somebody out of control that has no real control, that they have to ban their own viewers for life after he gets their money, though. I think that's what I've been told, that he does a lot of that after the fact, and then he doesn't owe him anything or something. In his mind, he doesn't. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Is he going to post that video? Oh, shoot. I don't have my thing plugged in again. Darn it. I have to get this plugged in before it dies. Wow, it goes down pretty fast. I'm pretty sure it was fully charged when I started. So, but I forget to plug it back in. Okay. Oh my God, at this point though, what would happen to Owen if he did come out of the closet and admit that he is? Wow, he would get bombarded. He's backed himself into a corner, it looks like. So what did you do? How did you take them on and do whatever to in protection, trying to help the older gentleman to, how did you help him? Well, if you could find it, that would be cool. I don't know, I guess, can you post links in the comments? Like, can you put the video in a comment on, like, my next video or something? Oh, also, can anybody help me figure out how to, I haven't been able to figure out how to get, how to, like, put on the video saying it's going to be on in an hour or half hour. I can't get it to schedule ahead of time. Like, it's not letting me do it for whatever reason. So then I have to just wait until it's time and then just go on. And it's, people ask me to tell them ahead of time to let them know I was going to be coming on. So, but I don't know how to do it. Can anybody tell me how to do it? I mean, it just says create video or go live. And then you go in to go live, and it gives you the opportunity to schedule it. It's like every 5 or 10 minutes you can set it at a time, but I can't get it to lock it in and then come on like it should. So there's something I don't know how to do. I mean, I'm not very tech savvy. I'm pretty tech tarded. So anybody that can help me to figure that out, how to do that. I mean, and I'm not able to stream on my, what do you call it, my tablet, my iPad, because it's a mobile device. So I'm using my big old dinosaur laptop. So I don't know how to do that to give people like a heads up that it's going to be coming on in a half an hour or an hour or whatever. I mean, I could see where it gives you the chance to, to schedule it, but it's not letting me somehow. I don't know what I'm not doing right or what I need to do to get it to come on. So I forgot to ask last time if anybody knew. Yeah, I know that you need the 1,000 subs. I found that out. But that's also because you get monetized. And I don't think I'm going to take monetization from, as bad as I need money, I don't think I can take money from YouTube and then have to abide by their rules and, bend over for them. And I just don't want to do that. So, I mean, I'm glad I could do this on my own. Look really nice painted. I mean, I like wood and everything, but the whole house is like this. Every room is wood, except there is a little part where it's at the bottom of the steps. There's a little part that's got plaster, like a decorative sort of plaster. It's not exactly Spanish lace, but that's what my ex used to do. We had that business, Bobcat Plastering. So that's nice, but I don't know. And I like wood. I mean, I really do. And I like brick. I love brick walls. Like, I had places that had brick on it, and I really like that. I tried to use Prism, and I just I forget what happened now. I'll have to go check again, but I don't remember what it said that I had to do that I couldn't do or something. I don't remember. Is it glitching again? I didn't notice it doing that, but is it starting to glitch again? I was wondering if it had something to do with me doing that, but no, look, it's not doing anything now. I thought it was something when I blocked the the camera thing or something, but, and I was wondering if that's what causes the blue light back there. The light is blue that comes out of the camera. But it's stopped now. I mean, I didn't see it doing it this time, but I did see it earlier. Okay. So did anybody do the homework I said to try to put up the pictures of Trump, Trudeau, Fauci, Bill Gates, and all their wives? Did anybody do that for me? To make my point, to show you what I'm trying to teach people that aren't getting this. There's a huge agenda. This satanic cult of theirs, those at the top or whatever, the Hollywood scene, the all the political rulers, all the sports things, a lot of the musical groups, bands, and stuff like that. Usually, if they have in their name like chicks, like Dixie Chicks, they're going to be dudes. Pointer Sisters are dudes. Lady Gaga is a dude. If they have that name and it's like stands out like that, uh, what other ones are their names like they're women's names, and it's like a dead giveaway. 80% plus of all celebrities are on board with this. If this is all about bloodlines and um, they're doing, it's part of their religion, like their Baphomet worship or something, which the Baphomet is male and female, androgynous or whatever, and they are trying to create, they're flipping everything around and they do everything the other way. So why wouldn't they change their sex? If they're, changing everything else, why would that be any different? I mean, this goes all the way back to Marilyn Monroe was one of the greatest trannies ever. You can't even tell. I mean, and it's even harder to tell the female to male, like Brad Pitt is a woman. You could see the top surgery scars on Brad Pitt. People have been doing transvestigations and stuff. And just because they look big and buff, that's all that human growth hormone, and they've been on testosterone their whole life. Yeah, they're going to look like a dude. Like, I don't know. How do they get out of this contract? I mean, you can't go up against these people. These bloodlines have got control over all their heirs or children and down the line. You can't just step out against it. They won't allow it. If it gets through, they allowed it. Just like they say that Meghan Markle's a dude and Harry is probably a female. I mean, this is everywhere. It's pervasive. It's not just here and there or a lot of them. It's like all of them, almost all of them. I mean, people are saying now that it's up to 90% in Hollywood. I said 80% plus. I went from 50%, 60%, 70, and I hit 80, and I just said 80 plus. And people are saying it's like 90% of Hollywood. So that's why I don't understand why Owen's not reporting on this. He must have seen something or know something, or is he under a spell and all he's talking about everybody else being under a spell? Seems like to me. It almost seemed like at some point he went under the spell himself as he was talking about people being under the spell. Then all of a sudden, maybe not all of a sudden, but I just noticed that it's like, wow, what happened? Like a demon took over or something. Okay, you're starting to go into caps again. That's like screaming. Caps are for questions, remember? Yeah, there's a lot of them, Melanie. It's not just the Dixie Chicks. It's like a lot of these. They're even saying Bob Dylan is a woman. The the male to female are more obvious to catch than the female to male. But as they get older, okay, here's another whole set of trannies that are changed, not as they're presented, is the whole modeling industry. If they're on that catwalk, you can bet they're males. If they're on if they're on a magazine cover, they're males. What do you think Victoria's Secret is? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you mean when you see the demons jumping people to control them when they start trying to expose lies. I don't know. I've seen what appears to be, it looks like demons just jump in people that are open to possession or something, especially if they're drug addicts or alcoholics or I guess even food addicts or whatever. It's like you've lowered yourself to a vibration that makes it easier for them to come into you, especially alcohol. They don't call it spirits for nothing. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, he was. Yeah, this other person too that is attacking me. I mean, literally threatening to murder me. He he's exposing the truth and stuff, the nano stuff, and I guess he's under attack himself, and then he's projecting it onto me. I don't know. I didn't. I would never drink alcohol. The closest I get to drinking is I make tinctures sometimes, and I use brandy like cognac. And actually, alcohol could be in small amounts. Is a good delivery system for like essential oils and stuff like that. They're carriers and stuff. But you know, like most people abuse alcohol, just like a lot of people abuse cannabis. And cannabis is a medicine. Lots of things are medicines, but they get overused and then they lose their, even garlic. People use garlic every day in all their cooking. And then when they need it for healing, they've got a tolerance to it and they would have to eat so much of it. Goldschlager, is that some kind of beer? Yellow beer or something? Is that you talking about urine or something? I don't know. Oh, gold leaf flakes. Oh wow, what's cinnamon liquor? Oh. Yeah, you could probably take in gold leaf. I got some copper leaf right now. I do think I have some gold leaf somewhere. You know, just sheets of it, and you could just probably flake it into a drink. And gold is better for you than silver. Like all this silver stuff that colloidal silver, colloidal gold is better. Yeah, a little bit of wine doesn't hurt, especially if you make it yourself, or what do they call it, mead or not mead. Make your own like fruit wines and stuff like that that are not highly alcoholic. So when the alcohol content gets up too high, you don't really. I don't drink at all. I just don't. And the other thing I do though is I make my own kombucha, which is like a very low amount of alcohol after it takes effect. I'll show you. Does anybody know what kombucha even is? I would imagine you would. Or do you know how to make your own? I have to check it. I have to check it anyway. I have to check how it is anyhow, so because you have to keep feeding it and making more tea and stuff to feed it. Hi, Brianna. You're here. I didn't think you were going to make it. What time is it there in India? Okay, here's my, see all the Scoobies in there? I started this from, there was a bottle like somebody else bought. I don't buy kombucha in the store, but there was, I guess, a little bit of the mother in there, and I started it from that. So look how big my Scooby is. Okay, this was a new one I just started. You see? That's the mother or the Scooby it's bacteria basically. And do you know what that kombucha is like bacteria? And that's what propels spaceships. It's on a vacuum, but in the thin walls where they're really close together, there's little bacteria in there that makes the thing go. Most people do not know this stuff. I'm going to drink some, taste it. Oh, it's so good. It's got that little bit of, a tiny little bit of fizz. Not very much, though. But you can see the bubbles. It's so good for you. Any fermented foods are good for you. So then I like strain some off and leave some in there and then make some more. And you keep it in a dark, warm spot. The warmer it is, the faster it'll grow. Or, the faster it will ferment into the kombucha. And you don't want to use herbal tea or green tea. You have to use black tea. It is pretty good. It looks gross, I think, but it's actually good. And I pour it off into a nice little container like pitcher. And it looks pretty. It's sparkly in there. And the one I have some down in the fridge. So I'll just pour some more in there and then I'll make some more. And then you drink like, I don't know, a few ounces a day, whatever. Does anyone else make it? I don't do any grain stuff anymore, hon. What is Rejuvelac? Organic sprouted grain fermented in pure water. No, I've never done that. Huh. Well, I kind of quit all the grains, so I can't do that anymore, I guess. But if you want to do, I was still making my sourdough rye bread. This was the absolute end of the grains. Like I said, I quit pasta years ago, rice, and it was just down to I was just using I have big bags of wheat berries and everything that I won't even use now in my storage unit, and I don't know. I can't see the dislikes. I only see the likes. There's like only 4 up there, but it's not showing any downs. I don't know why doesn't it show that. Hey, Ariel! Ariel WXYZ is here. Uh-oh, what's happening? It's not charging. Okay, we're gonna talk to Ariel here. Do you know who my friend Ariel is, guys? Shoot, why is this not charging? Oh no, I only got 8 more minutes on here, so I gotta talk quick, I guess. Because Ariel's here and I want to talk about his okay, it's going off. I don't know that it's charging now. Something's wrong here. It should be plugged in. plugged in. I don't know why. Okay, whatever. No, I don't eat quinoa. I told you I don't do absolutely any. I don't do cereal. I don't do any grains at all. If I were going to do any grain, it would be amaranth. Okay, it's seed, not grain. Well, even the seed. Well, actually, the good seeds right now still are sunflower seeds, which I do. Okay, Ariel's out on his job, so I just wanted to tell you guys, if you're interested in getting your natal chart read, Ariel does it. I don't know how much he charges to do it. Ariel, how much is it? Give us a price. Come on, dude. You have to pop it like popcorn. You have to do that first in order to be able to get it in you and uh, access its goodness, I guess. Okay, so if anyone is interested in getting a reading from Ariel, you can go to his channel. I was going to put up a link, but I don't have it here. Maybe Ariel can post. Can you post a link, Ariel, to his channel? He does really good exercise videos, guys. You should see. Ariel, do you have it in a playlist, your exercise videos? I like watching his exercise videos because he incorporates a whole bunch of different styles of exercise without using machines or anything. He just uses the ground or the wall or whatever, and he uses his own resistance against the wall of his body, and he does yoga, and he does like different types. Well, he might use the only props I think he ever uses is maybe some weights or something for some more resistance. He's got pretty big biceps. Um, so, okay, he's saying as much as somebody wants to pay, and then he takes the value of that. So whatever you offer him, he will give it to you, whatever he feels that it's worth. Yeah, he goes pretty far, sometimes too far, Ariel, maybe. He does videos that are like an hour and a half or 2 hours long. Like I think he gets into some things that, unless you're an astrologer yourself, that you can understand, but some people like me that don't understand it all. I mean, I understand most of it, but he gets into the technical aspects of it. And I think he should stay more with the practical aspects, how people can apply it to their life. I mean, it's nice to know some of that stuff, but I think people are more interested in knowing how it applies to them and how they can use it in their life to better their life. Right, Ariel? Yes, I do have a Vitamix. Yeah, Ariel did one on Owen, and you're going to have to send me that one again, Ariel, because I never saw it, because remember we were talking and then I was saying all these things about how I felt about Ariel. He goes, oh my God, you're not going to believe the reading I just did on him is saying the exact things that I was saying. And I hadn't even read it yet. But he did a couple, he did TJ. She's not here today, but he did hers. I mean, TB, not TJ. TB. So I don't know, can you leave a link or something? Did Ariel have to leave? Because he's at work. He's working and delivering stuff, I think. So I don't know how long he can stay. Let me see. I don't know how far back did I miss stuff. Yeah, I use mason jars. No, I've never made fermented cabbage sauerkraut yet. Sauerkraut juice smoothies. No, but I made this in my, well, it could have turned out better, but it didn't because I had a champion juicer that I put on consignment, and now I went over there to get it and they can't find it. I mean, this thing is an old one that's worth a lot of money, I bet. It's so heavy. I think it has a third of a horsepower motor on it. And it just extracts just the juice, because this other juicer I ended up using that they gave me until they find it, it was just a big mess. And I was juicing grapefruit with the skin peeled off, but the white part still left on, and that doesn't pulverize very well. So I had big clumps. I had to squeeze it out through a cloth, like a cotton, like a jelly, like you would do with the jelly bag. And then I did onion. I put onion through it, but it still was chopping up the pulp into it, and I didn't want that. And then the other thing that I talked to Tony Pantalleresco, he's the one that I got this recipe from, and you just put those three things together: the grapefruit juice with the white part, not the skin, the onion, the whole onion without the skin, and the big chunk of ginger. And he says that the ginger is messed up. It probably wasn't fresh. I mean, I didn't have it that long, but it wasn't fresh when I bought it, probably. So I don't know where to get good ginger, because you take like, he took 1 ounce of, this is Tony Pantalleresco talking. He did 1 ounce of it and it floored him. So he tells people to only take 1 teaspoon. So he had this guy, this cop, that said, oh, well, he took a tablespoon of it. And he said, I don't feel nothing. He says, if you can do 1 ounce, then I could do 1 ounce. So he took 1 ounce on top of that tablespoon, and he had to run to the bathroom, and he was like, oh, it just like hit him so hard. A big guy that thought he was all badass, and this stuff almost took him down. But mine wasn't that strong. I kept taking more and more of it, and it never did that to me. And Tony said it's because the ginger was probably not fresh and not strong enough, because ginger can be highly stimulating. You don't want to do that at night. Ginger is for the daytime. You don't want to take ginger right before bed. It's very stimulating. Yeah, TB was here, but she left, I guess. Yeah, I'm not much of a kimchi person, but I might start getting into that more. Make my own if I can. Huh. Well, yeah, I could see why it would make it creamy, but that's not really what the way Tony did it, does anybody know Tony? I know Ariel does. Does anybody else know who Tony P is? He's from Canada. In fact, I got to send an email to him today. Yeah, well, I could probably try that with my Vitamix and squeeze it through the cheese, maybe not cheesecloth, but actually just some fabric that I have. I have a sprout bag too. I don't know if that would work. You know, that you put sprouts in to, you put whatever kind of stuff you want to sprout into the bag, and then it, like 3 or 4 or 5 days later, you have sprouts, which I used to like put in stir fries. I'm trying to do more raw food, but I still like warm. I guess it's comfort food or something. Maybe, I don't know, but I still have lentils in the freezer that I made, lentil soup with carrots and onions, and I use lots of spices in my stuff, so it's a carrier to get spices in me. And and if you want to see somebody, go to Ariel's channel and look what he put up for a drink he made that I didn't approve of. It's funny though. It's cute. He took watermelon he was eating, and he decides to put some kind of lactose-free dairy into the into the watermelon and stirred it up, made it like a pink liquid. And he's saying, I don't care what's in this shit, I'm doing it. It's like, whatever. But it's funny. You sprout bag. Like a scumbag. Yeah, I do have. Well, I do have a little crock pot. Well, no, I don't have a crock pot here, but there's a crock pot I can use, but it's not the mini kind. It's just a regular one. But I also have bean soup in the freezer that I could take out. It's a little hot right now for soups and stuff, but I still like them, like for dinner or something. I also cook like baked potatoes, and then I load it up with butter and sour cream and green onions and salt and pepper. So it's so good. I've been craving just potatoes. I guess it's, like I said, comfort food. But they are, at least they're under the ground. They're root like vegetables. Like, I went to a local farmer here, and they had beets out there and radishes and all these, grown underground, and they were like awful. They were they were all like, I don't know why they were like messed up. I took a sample like just to try it, and it's like, shit, these are no good. And I've been having trouble with this one farm. They're not producing the best crops. I don't know what they're doing, but so, and I thought there'd be more of them, but it's coming into summer now, so there'll be lots of little stands out on the roads, along the way in the farm. Like, there's a lot of rural area around here with farms where I can go. I mean, the biggest things they have, a lot of places have eggs. Like, there's a lot of chickens and stuff and ducks. And I even got goose eggs that were like this big. They were huge. It was like 3 or 4 large regular eggs. So I just put just the yolk of that into my eggnog milkshake drink with all my essential oils and mushroom powder. I use lion's mane right now, and I do have some reishi, but I tried to grind that up and I couldn't pulverize it into a powder. So I wish I could eat fresh mushrooms, but I just can't get over the slimy mouth feel of the mushrooms. Just don't appeal to me. I wish they did, because they're so good for you. There's lots of different kinds, and I'm in the Pacific Northwest, right where I live. My backyard here is mushroom land. Like, there's a lot of good. They said the best mushrooms grow right here in my backyard. A couple of people were leaving comments under my video where I talked about it. Or I showed the I was trying to pulverize the dried mushroom and couldn't get it to reduce down into a powder. So that concerns me, because what I bought, the other stuff that's already a powder, how much processing do they have to do to get that to be that powder? So I don't know if I'll keep buying the powder. I want to learn to like mushrooms and eat them in less refined or less processed. I don't want processed foods. So I don't know if I'll continue to do the mushroom powder, but I think it was helping with my neuropathy. Like, I have hardly, I have like, it's on my left foot especially, I have really bad neuropathy, like not much feeling in my foot. And now that foot is all swollen. It's not swollen a lot, but it's swollen, and I can't walk on it any distance. I think I made it worse by, going up and down the steps and putting any kind of pressure on it. So now it started swelling again. And I just said, let alone dance. You guys know I'm a dancer, right? I'm a trained dancer. And I want to get back to dancing. What kind of a sauce are you talking about? I uh, Blend the sauce until it's almost steaming. Which kind of sauce, though? A celery stick with your beer. That's cute. Huh. Well, um I still have the dehydrated mushrooms that I tried to pulverize some of them into, with my little bullet thing. I was trying to get them to, and I did use it a couple times in stuff like soups and but some of the pieces stay hard and dry, and they kind of messes it up when you take a bite in it. Blah. So I'm not. Maybe I should rehydrate them before I put them back in the soup. But I would think that the soup or the sauce or whatever you're doing would rehydrate them just putting them in there. I used to like celery, but I don't know the way this the medical medium guy Anthony William is pushing this vegan agenda, and he's pushing all these open leaf vegetables, and he's putting down other things, and he's, like the good things maybe, and then he's like promoting all this stuff that has got nano in it. So I mean, I followed him like years ago. I read his books, which had some good information in it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but then he started coming out and dropping this this info, and I could see it on there. And every time I made a comment, there's like a couple people in his chat that would come at me. And their names always start with L, Loretta or Lynn or whatever their name is. I noticed that, like, they're like his little, they're not, it doesn't show them as moderators. They're just people in the chat, but it looks like they are working for him. I'm so observant. I see so much stuff that most people would just go over their head and they just don't see it. But I think that's part of having your third eye open, decalcified, and then you can start, you can't, it's just hard to see stuff when it's all caked over like that and shrunken. And then it starts to clear and clear, and it gets bigger and clearer and clearer, and then all of a sudden you can start seeing stuff. Like me seeing all these, it's called transfiguration is my understanding of it. These trannies that like Trump and Gates and Fauci and all them. Sound like you eat pretty good, Andromeda. I don't do bell peppers anymore, and I love them. Yeah, I need to get potassium phosphate in me, because I think that would help. Look at the difference, because these wrinkles here. There's this thing, does anybody listen to Santos Bonacci? Well, he's talking about the salts, all the salts that I've been telling you guys about, that salts are healing. And like I have bags of salt. I'm going to start making blends of the different salts, and even maybe the oils, that like the essential oils. I'll make blends and stuff like that and maybe sell them. I don't know. But anyway, look at the difference. Look how much younger I look when I pull these wrinkles back here. And I think he was saying that was the potassium. You see how much different that is? Don't I look like 10 years younger just doing that? See? This just came like this in the last year or two. Pretty much right, probably around about a year and a half when all this CD started shit. Because it probably just stressed me out so bad because I knew it was a spell. It is literally a ritual that they're doing to people. I asked my landlady, she does it. I says, if they tell you to stick a potato up your butt, are you going to do that too? I said, where do you draw the line? Where do you stop doing what they tell you to do? How far can they take this with people? People don't see they're being told what to do and they're lining up, like sheep ready to be shepherded wherever they want you to be. So the focus goes on a lot of people like me who are defiant and stand up against this tyranny. So then I get attacked. Yeah, salt is your protection. Hi, Three Olives. Good to see you here. Yeah, getting old does suck, man. I did a video of that. I actually look back on my videos. You could even, I put a picture of me of how I sort of looked before. And I said, I hate getting old. And that's where I rat myself out and everything in there. I come clean about the abortion that I had. And I feel like I repented. I feel really, that's like the worst thing I ever did. Because that's murder. But I was under a spell then, and I was on drugs then too. And I didn't want to bring a child in the world with a junkie mother that couldn't take care of it. So, and I didn't want to give it up. So I ended up giving it up anyway in a different kind of way. And it was awful. It just tore me up that I did that. But I can't keep beating myself up for that. I'm thinking that this is interesting that this has come to me, and I've talked to Ariel about it, and I even talked to the landlady here about it, and she said, I support you in that, which is, whoa. Because I told her I still think I might have a son, like when I'm like 71 or 72, and I'm not even with a partner or anything right now. She goes, well, who was it? Ruth had one at 80 in the Bible. So if the Bible talks about that, is it Ruth? Does anybody know the Bible to know if it was Ruth that had a child at 80? And I still feel like my best relationship is still ahead of me. I haven't really met my soulmate yet, so hopefully I still am trying to contact and prepare myself for my greatest relationship ever. You guys might think I'm crazy, but if it happens, you heard me say it now, like, because I'm going to be 70 on the 10th of this month, and there's supposed to be something happening that day. Oh, is Ariel still here? I went, Ariel, he's back. Good. Ariel, I want to ask you, Livette was talking about the July 10th at 7:27. Something's supposed to transpire then. Do you know about that at all? On my birthday? Maybe you know, or you could tell us what's going to happen if anything is. What is she talking about? Do you understand what it is? First, she gave another time, and she goes, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. She says it's 7:27. And I think that is, I'm not even sure if it's AM or PM, but I don't know if you even know what I'm talking about. It's Sarah. Oh, yeah, Sarah. Okay, it's Sarah. Not right. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's what she said on July 10th at 7:27. I don't, I forget what she wasn't really clear on exactly what's going to happen, but she said the way I guess the planetary alignments or something, like something is really going to happen or supposed to. I don't know. You know more about this stuff than I do. I don't know astrology, how to predict it or make sense of it sometimes. But I don't know, why would she give that specific day and that specific time she said to be alert of that time. So I don't know why she would say that. I don't know. I'm having a struggle with time. Time is moving very, very fast for me, and it has been for some time, and it keeps like getting faster and faster, and just like I can't, this is like a break for me to stop and, just do these live streams, because I'm constantly got to do all these things, and it's just very taxing on me to have to do all this stuff so then I like realize this is a good way to get off my foot and not use my hand, because I can't like stop myself from doing stuff, I guess. My mind is always going. My mind's always going. The specific time is weird. It sounds like divination, but maybe the day has a specific alignment. Ariel, why don't you explain divination for us? What do you mean by that? Thank you, Ariel, for that. I do hope I am bestowing my knowledge or wisdom to people. Obviously, that's what I feel like I'm here to do. Just being on this earth when I can't even stand being in this world, but I am not going to take myself out of it. But I just don't really want to be here. That's why I want to be out in nature all the time. People are saying, like, go back home, I don't even want to be in this house. Do you know what I did, guys? I pitched a tent out in the back. I sleep out in the tent. And I have a room here that I'm renting, and I'm still outside in the tent. And I would go back to the Birch Bay State Park, but I get the feeling they're gonna come down on me again, and then they're gonna put the third strike against me, which will be for 1 year. I'll be expulsed from the state parks in all of Washington. Let me see. Divining that something will happen in the future through astrology is not that. Though astrology is not that. Astrology can tell you energy exchange. Well, she was talking about, she was using her little symbol of the man, the person, and breaking down the whole, fire and water, and even the different colors associated with it and everything. So I don't know, but something about her presentation made me think, oh, she's kind of believing something that I don't really believe in. So I didn't know how much of it I should accept or not accept. Well, thanks for stopping in. The olive man has to go. Oh, I thought it said three. It's the olives. The olive. Just seeing you were live, I found the live streaming helps me as well, and for others in hopes of keeping them away from drugs. Well, that's good. That's also part of my mission. I feel like I can help people. Like, people are telling me to help Mersh, but if he doesn't ask me, like if I don't get any inclination that he wants to, I even send him Reiki, long distance Reiki. Is anyone here from the ROTC? Oh, okay, I will. Did you put it in caps, first name? So by the olive. Okay, scroll up to see his. Did you put in caps? Ah. Okay, he's saying testimony is a powerful tool for us to get over the trauma, and for others to hopefully hear and listen to mistakes. Yeah, that's why I put that out there about myself, about the abortion stuff. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, But, you know, I admitted I made a mistake that I would never do again. And, I mean, I could have justified it, you know, that I just can't in my mind and in my heart. I want people to know, do not do that to yourself and to the baby, because you carry that with you for your lifetime, that guilt and shame. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I saw your question there. I'll go back to your, try to find it again. I don't know if it's in caps. I told everybody to put, only use caps for questions so I could see them. I don't know how far back I have to go to find it. I don't know. Was he doing a creepy question or something? I can't find it now. I don't know where the question is, if it was. Sorry, I missed it. Oh, no. You're welcome for thanking me for being honest and sharing. Okay, I didn't catch, I don't know. I couldn't find your question, so I don't know what it was. You have to ask it again. Okay, that's how I can tell. You know, I can't do anything about his eye. And we're not here to make fun of people. I'm just trying to help people. Yeah, ask the question again so I can, and put it in caps. Because someone here was putting their statements in caps, but had the respect to stop doing that. And I thank you and honor you for that. Okay, it's getting time for me to probably get off of here. Um, Go ahead, ask me again what the question is so I can answer it. Did Ariel leave? He didn't want to go into specifics, but I wanted him to explain that better, which he really didn't do. Okay, here. Okay, my question was, how much did Owen take out of his wallet when he pretended he wanted to pay you? He didn't take anything out. He did grab his wallet and he just went like this, like, what do you want? How much do you want? Meanwhile, George's dog was right here on his right side behind him. And I go, I don't want money. I'm not asking you for money. He was totally freaked out. I'm telling you, people, he was literally scared shitless of me. So and I'll tell you this stuff started happening to me, and because I got another one that is doing way worse things than Owen ever did to me. This guy is literally threatening to murder me in emails, and he's just right up in Surrey, BC. He thinks I'm coming there, and he threatened me. He said, "Don't you dare come here. I will get out my, what did he call it? His zombie axe or something, and chop my head off or unscrew me from the neck or something." I don't know. It's just really bizarre. And this is a guy who claims to be a teacher, And he got on my shit about me calling somebody a millennial or something. And he said, you get 2 strikes as a teacher, you get -2 strikes. How many strikes does he get for making a death threat and threatening to murder me? If I got 2 strikes for calling somebody, just saying, are you a millennial? And he got on me about that. But it's okay for him to talk to me like that. I sent it to people to show them, just, in case anything weird happens. And my friend in Switzerland, who knows him, said, I am speechless. That's all he could say. He couldn't even, oh my God. I'm supposed to talk to him in a few days, but he's taking care of his parents in Greece right now. So, so he never did take money out. But then when, he reached in his pocket and got his wallet out, which was okay. But when I went to get my wallet to show him my ID, who I am, so I would not be a threat to him, he freaked out even more. He thought I was going for a gun. I'm going to do that right in front of the post office. Yeah. Not that it would do it anywhere, but I surely wouldn't do it in front of the post office. A federal thing. So anyway, what I started to say was, years ago, I started noticing all these little things where people were deceiving people. One of the very first things was I trusted this one market where I went to, because you know how picky I am about my food. Well, this lady, the owner of this little shop, it's called Good to Go. She made these little meat pies, and which I wasn't really doing meat then, and these different types of things. And then so and she used butter in her dough and her to make these pies. So one time she had out some apple pies, which I would allow myself to eat because I was still doing wheat then, so I could eat the pie crust. And so I read the label. It says butter and apples and cinnamon and sugar, which I was letting be okay. And I said, okay, this passes everything. There's no reason I can't have this. And then I don't know how I uncovered it, but it's shit, this isn't butter. I asked her straight up, what she used in there. And she said margarine, but the label said butter. I said, what? Are you kidding me? You put a label on there saying it's butter when it's not butter and it's margarine? What if somebody would have been allergic to margarine or whatever ingredient that's in there that they're not saying is in there? That place is not there anymore. But that, stuff like that started me off. And then I had incidents at everywhere I went, Safeway was putting, a bag was open. I gave it to them, because it was open on the shelf, and they just taped it up and put it back on the shelf. Who knows what could have been dropped in that bag? I could have dropped something in there, some kind of chemical or something. They just put it right back, and it's oh my God. And it was everywhere I was going, I was seeing this stuff. And then I was at a point, what am I supposed to do about these things? But then Owen hit me, and it's I can't not say anything about this guy who I thought actually was maybe my brother and reincarnated. Regardless, I couldn't handle, I don't care if it was my brother or not. I'd rat my own brother out doing shit like that, taking advantage of people, taking their money and using it for something other than what it was earmarked for, And from what I understood, he's collected over $1 million. At one point, it was 600,000. So I don't know. And just that he bought that house when he did in July. It was a year ago in 2020, in July of 2020, that he purchased that property, that 10 acres with a 2,500 square foot barn, plus a cottage, plus a 4-car garage. Who has a 4-car garage attached to a 600 square foot barn? And so he was just ripping off all his own bears. So I was in defense of those bears. Although there were a lot of bears that came at me in protecting Owen, like a person that would protect their narcissist, like a woman protecting her narcissist boyfriend or something would do, like that Stockholm syndrome or whatever. And I just couldn't watch it. I mean, I didn't know it at first. I didn't see the property or anything back then. It wasn't until later that somebody sent me the actual purchase from Zillow, the actual pictures of it and everything, which is still on my, or in my videos. You can go back and see the actual thing. You can see the 4-car garage, you can see the cottage, you can see the big old barn. It's like a designer barn. It's not your typical little beat up old barn, which I wouldn't mind living in myself. I'd love a finished barn. But I'm excited just about getting a small old 1990s motorhome that Ariel, thank you very much, put up the GoFundMe for me to help me get that. But it's not really going anywhere. So if anybody does want to donate to me, you can. I don't know. I even put it on that. It's probably not even on this video. I don't know if I did it. But on some of my other videos, you can go and see the GoFundMe link there. Or you could do PayPal or something. So I think there's only like $95 on it so far. I mean, I'm grateful for that, but it's a long ways to go. I mean, they're like 15,000 to 18,000, I was told. Plus there's taxes and fees and all that kind of shit on them. So I'm trying to get people locally to help me try to find something closer. Because I saw one that I don't have the money right now, but I'm trying to manifest it, just bring it into existence, because that's something I would like to do. Then I can, further heal myself, because this lady here is not making it easy for me. That's why I was forced. I had to get to someplace where I could do my treatments and stuff to help me out of this thing, and then eventually I can help other people. I can have, I have my table, which wouldn't be able to set up in a little tiny motorhome, but I could go to them and set it up in their house, and maybe do even smaller treatments. Like I do a lot of different things, but I could do like foot treatments and I do manicures and I anoint their feet, and I do lower foot, like reflexology and lower leg massage. And it's a whole treatment in itself. And for people who don't like taking their clothes off or don't want to get a massage, that's a good thing, if they can handle their feet being touched. Some people are too ticklish or don't want their feet being touched. And then I use my aromatherapy in all my treatments. So what are people saying now? Inform the police about what? Which thing? The police aren't going to do anything. Like I told you, that lady downstairs called the police on me, and they came to take a report, but they never even talked to me. They didn't even do anything. So I think she just kind of made a fool out of herself. She, like she can't fight her own battle. She's going to call the cops in to help her. What a put, ugh. Yeah, I know about the room wax, but and he admits that himself. Oh, I didn't see his Porsche. He has a, I don't think it's a Porsche unless he just got that one, but it's a white, I think it's a Land Rover. I don't remember, but I saw it a couple times. I saw him in that, and I saw it there at the post office. But then I think he stopped coming to the post office when he saw my Cadillac out there. Oh, the death threat from, I don't know if I should say his name. I probably should. And he's somebody in the nano community that's doing a lot of work, and he discovered a lot of stuff. And I think he's jealous of people like Tony and Giannis, and they're getting acknowledgement for what they do, but he's not getting it. But I think he's kind of hiding too. But yet he's going to call me CIA and all these things. Well, I'm saying it here too. If anything happens to me, it's because of Brian. His name is Brian, and he's supposedly Courtney Love's stepfather. It's Brian 369. Yeah, I don't know what they're going. Can they do about somebody making a threat online? Oh, really? I didn't know about that car. What a stupid name for a car, Cayenne. Is that supposed to mean it's hot? I never saw him in that. I only saw him in the white um, Land Rover or Super, whatever the heck it was. I don't even know. He thinks he's hot shit, huh? I'm surprised. Porsches are small. If he was 6'8", why would he get a Porsche? If he was really 6'8", because even a 6'5" guy would have a hard time getting in a little Porsche, unless they're making Porsches bigger. I remember one time I had a boyfriend that had a 914 Porsche that he just got like brand new, and we went on a trip somewhere, and he had the sunroof open, and it's like I forget what I was doing. I think I forget if I cut myself or whatever, if I had blood in my mouth or I had a spit or whatever. He says just spit into the wind like outside the the rooftop, and I went up to do and I had my brand new glasses on. These were like really cool glasses. I had a pretty blue colored glasses, sort of like the color of Melanie on the moderator's thing. It was like really cool blue, and the wind just whoa, there goes my glasses. There was no recovering them. I've had nice cars myself, and I've had boyfriends that had nice cars. I always drove around in nice cars. I only had one brand new car off the showroom floor, though. That was I was into MGB's racing cars. I like those, stick shift and so I bought this was back in 1974. I bought a brand new one off the showroom floor. It was a white with black interior. And after I made my, like, what is it, 3 years of payments, like 30 months or something at least. I don't know. After I made my last payment on it, damn thing got totaled. So I bought another one that was used with the money I got from that one, which they didn't really give me enough what it was worth. But I bought another. So I had 3 MGBs, and I had another one after that. I had two 74s and a 76 MGB. And then I had Dodge Chargers, 318 engines, like so cool. And I got that from a friend that was a mechanic, so he always kept it in top shape. And I had a 68 Thunderbird, a T-Bird it was white with red leather interior. And then I had when I bought that brand new MGB, my boyfriend, that was new, that it had to be a 76 MGB, because he bought a 76 Eldorado convertible, baby blue with white leather interior. That was a ragtop convertible, and we would drive around in the rain with umbrellas. We were goofy as hell. Oh, I guess I almost spilled my water. I guess that means I should take a drink of water. Oh, wow, I put too much minerals, magnesium in here. Okay, so, yeah. It's a big Porsche SUV. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think it wasn't the what color? Do you know what color it is? Hi, son. Thank you. Huh. You don't know what color it is though, Melanie, huh? 'Cause I don't think it's the one I saw him in, because the one I saw him in was white. It was like a sports utility kind of truck, or van like, or whatever you call it. Not really a van, utility vehicle. So you don't know what color it is? Where did you see the pictures of the inside of it? Is it something he posted? It's Lopez. You changed your name again? Are you eating your fruit, dude? I remember you, Lopez, right? But you're always changing your name. Last time it was, or unless you don't want people to know, maybe I won't say it because maybe that's why you changed it. Started with an E. Yeah, I think there might be one other person that showed up in the chat that's from the Al Watts group. Which I'll let you know, guys. I'm not a fan of Alan Watts so much. I just was in there for the chat and the friendships and the camaraderie. I didn't hardly listen to him. I would shut him off and have music on while I was talking to everybody. Occasionally I did listen, but I think he might have been part of the establishment. Alan Watts was probably put out there to persuade people, like a lot of other people, like Timothy Leary or all these other well-known philosophers. Oh, okay. But you're not like hiding your identity, I don't think. Where are you now? Are you still, did you go back to California? Are you still in Utah, or where are you now? Yeah, it's I for some reason I'm remembering a Land Rover, but I don't know that for sure, but it was white. I do know that. It was very white. I've never seen him doing a stream from a car though on. Yeah, and why? Okay, not just he never shows the other houses. He doesn't even show these gardens that much. He showed like an inside garden a little bit. But if he's doing all this if he's a farmer like he claims to be, which his hands don't show it, my hands look more like farmer hands than his. You know, he'd be out there. He'd have Amy out there filming him digging, doing farm labor. If he was really doing it, his ego is so big he wouldn't let that opportunity go by to be filmed working his ass off. But I don't think he does. And he's out of shape. He'd be in better shape. He'd be more muscular and less fat and flat. He's a soy boy. He's got puffy hands. He's got like man boobs, and he's got puffy feet. Like he's eating too much soy. I don't know if he still does. Oh, I'm gonna have zucchini too, but not the pork. No pork for this girl. I know what that is. I'm not eating it. I'm not putting it in my body. I won't do it. I love it. It's good. It tastes good, and there's a reason why it tastes so good. Oh, really? So you're saying that the Porsche is what we think is the Land Rover is a Porsche, and it's not two different vehicles? Because I'm thinking this one is the white Land Rover is an older one. That's why I'm trying to get you to, if you can tell me the color, because if it's not white, then it's a totally different car. But if it's white, then it could be the same vehicle. Okay. I hope things are well for you then in Cali. Yeah, I'm thinking it's two different vehicles. Like maybe that I'm thinking what I'm getting is maybe he bought the Cayenne Porsche, whatever, later, after, maybe after I left there. Because I was there until like March or something. Or April. I don't know. It was like the end of winter. It was like too freaking cold for me in Idaho. I couldn't acclimate to the weather. Plus it's in a higher altitude because there's the mountain that he shows, what's the name of it? I can't even think of the mountain. It's shoot, what is it called? What's the mountain at Sandpoint in northern Idaho? But anyway, the altitude was too high too. It was just, I'm sure he has more than one vehicle. He's got a 4-car garage too, attached to his 600 square foot barn. Yeah, right. Do you know how big a 4-car garage would be? How many thousands of square feet would that be? He's going to have a little tiny barn with 4-car garage. Yeah, sure. I'm in Blaine right now, which is Birch Bay is kind of part of Blaine. They're both together. It's the Birch Bay Blaine area, which is right up at the Canadian border. Blaine takes you right into Canada, right next to Canada. That's where they're together. So Vancouver's up about an hour away from, I'm at the, right below the border, and my daughter's in Vancouver, like an hour into Canada. So, I mean, I'm still close to the Birch Bay Park where I was staying at the campground where I filmed the leaf blower in the woods. Can you believe a leaf blower in the woods? How retarded is that? That they would even, because they're catering to the people with the big RVs that want it to be so nice and clean and proper for them. They don't, I mean, if you're out camping, you're there for the nature. The dirt is just part of what goes along with it, and the leaves. And then they have this thing making so much noise. It's like, that's why I go into the woods, to get away from all that artificial noise. So because I asked him to do it at another time, it just turned into a, and then they used it against me. It's obvious that I was targeted after that. Oh, see, I don't follow Amy on Instagram. I mean, I know what her Instagram thing is. Isn't it Daisy_love 13 or something? But I don't do Instagram. I don't do Facebook. The only thing I use Facebook for is to FaceTime people. So I haven't. So Amy was videotaping Owen. I mean, or who? Or she was driving while he did it, or what? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I don't know. The only thing I've been watching of Owen's lately is just clips of him that other people are putting up, like Alan Powell or Johnny Arcade, and the different people that they said I'm right up there with them guys. I'm like in third place or something, but I think I'm the only girl female doing this. Shit, this is saying that it's going down again. My battery. It is plugged in. Why is it not charging then? Shit. Well, I guess it's time for me to go off then. So I'd like to see this stream inside the car where they did it, because I'm familiar with the whole area there where he lived in Sandpoint. I mean, I was there for months and months reporting to everybody what was happening, my encounters with him at the post office and whatever. And I don't know, if I would have still stayed there, I might have went to his house, but I don't, I'm not afraid of getting shot or anything. I don't live in fear. Yeah, now that makes more sense. First, last name. That if there's two cars, they switch. There's one for each of them. And maybe Amy does the port. Oh, and I also saw Amy at the supermarket. I never talked to her or anything. I didn't go up and approach her, but I just listened from afar and saw, the checker, the cashier lady asking her, "How's your husband?" and da-da-da. Oh, you don't know who Owen is? Lopez? It's Owen Benjamin. He's from Hollywood. He's like 41 now. Just had a birthday last month. And he, ow, I got a cramp in my leg. Ooh. Okay, and he used to be here in Washington in Gig Harbor, just like south of where I am right now, because I came back to Washington after I went to Sandpoint. He was telling his followers, his little cult followers, that he calls the Bears. Oh, God. It's saying, find another power source. Why is this doing this? It's saying, I have to check it out why it's doing this. I don't know. It's like disconnecting or something. This is doing something weird. It could be me and my energy does stuff to electronics and everything. I don't know how to do this. It's saying my battery level is low, so I'm probably going to have to go off in a little bit. But anyway, he was promising, he was asking people for money so he could build, build a campground, and people would be like guaranteed a place to come to camp if they gave a $400 donation or more. And then apparently he collected like $600,000 and then used that money to buy the property in Sandpoint, Idaho, which he bought 1 year ago this month. In July of 2020, he purchased that property in Sandpoint, Idaho, but he didn't go there until September of 2020. And then I followed him there in December of 2020 and then eventually started to report on what he was doing. Oh no, what's going on?